I'm Badrina from the Heartland region. I will be discussing the face page in sections A and C. It is important to remember that even though these sections seem minor compared to the rest of the questionnaire, having the correct operator and partner names is critical to determining the overlap status of the tract and being able to measure the incompleteness of the list. Not getting all of the right names associated with a tract can also impact follow-on surveys and add needless burden to operators who perhaps should have been overlapped had we paid closer attention to these things in June. If any of the questions on the screening form are yes, you will complete an ag tract questionnaire. The tract questionnaires will be labeled with operator information based on what is currently available from this year's pre-screening or work from previous years. The tract label in June area will also indicate the previously reported acreage inside the segment. If the operation is a managed operation, the label will have a manager flag. Please confirm the manager's name and contact information. If necessary, make corrections in the spaces provided. Some regions ask that you mark corrections next to the label. Other RFOs might ask that you write any changes in item 1 at the bottom of the page, as shown on the next slide. Make sure any changes made to your paper tract questionnaire are input in CAPI. Please reference your CAPI videos for more information. If no changes are needed, enter a check mark in the verification box to show information on the label is correct. If this is a newly added ag tract, enter the operation name, if present, and the operator's name and address in the spaces provided at the bottom of page 1. Your entries must be clearly written, complete, and accurate. The addresses are used to mail future survey questionnaires to the tract operator. Correct mailing addresses are important. If the operator's name is changed for anything other than a minor spelling change, then a new tract letter may be needed. As I mentioned before, if you find out that the wrong name is on the label, do not fill out the questionnaire. This is a major name change and will require a new tract. Make sure that in CAPI, you mark the tract as no longer in segment. Section A describes the operation as it will be on June 1st. The first question asks you to enter in field 9921 whether the day-to-day decisions are made by an individual, partners, or hired manager. If partners, enter the number of partners, which includes the operator named on the face page, and continue. Otherwise, skip to section C on page 3. This is the same information that is collected on other surveys. If you find out in section A that there's more than one operating arrangement associated with the target operator, that means we will have to have more than one tract associated with the person. For example, the target operator has both an individual operation and is involved in a separate operation in partnership with someone else. A tract is by definition a unique operating arrangement. Therefore, for each additional operating arrangement you find, you assign an additional tract letter on the screening form and in CAPI, then determine whether this added tract qualifies for a tract questionnaire, and if so, please complete a tract questionnaire for it. Do not combine all operating arrangements into a single tract. For example, James Cricket operates land under 2 different operating arrangements on the land within the red boundaries of the segment. They must be recorded on 2 separate questionnaires, and they both have to have a different tract letter. James has one operation that consists of him and a partner. This is tract A. He also has an individual operation that is assigned to tract B. As always, make sure to provide plenty of comments and that your aerial photo shows 2 separate tracts. For partners, Section A requires you answer question 2 regarding if they share equally in decisions, and question 3 asks you list out the names and contact information of each. Make sure all updates made on paper are also made in CAPI. Partners are individuals who take part in the day-to-day decisions of the farm. Remember that the person considered to be the primary operator, or if equal partnership, the oldest partner, is the name on the front page. When accounting for partners, family members, including spouses, will still need to meet this definition and that they participate in the operation's day-to-day decisions. If they do not participate this way, then they should not be listed here. Please remember that landlord-tenant, cash rent sharecropping, and managed land are not considered partnerships by this definition. Section C walks you through a series of questions important to the remainder of the survey. Starting with question 1, it asks if both crop stocks and cattle boxes are checked at the bottom of the page. If yes, it tells you to go to section D, skipping the remaining questions. If no, go to question 2. For question 2, all tracks that are in new segments or any new operators in old segments will answer question 2 yes, and check the crop stocks and cattle boxes. Questions 4 and 5, any changes to the face page or changes to the names of the partners recorded in section A will require the boxes be checked. Here's a close-up of the crop stocks and cattle boxes. If these are checked, it's important to note for later in the survey. Checked boxes will require you to complete additional questions. They'll either be pre-printed or you will mark them if any questions are answered with a yes. You will never remove a check mark. Ultimately, you end up on section D either way. You may notice that you could go through all 5 questions indicated here, answering no to each one, and it would finally tell you to go to section D. That said, you should still answer all questions thoroughly until you come to the one question that tells you to go to that next section. In Cat B, section C is not visible. You don't need to complete anything. The system will automatically route you to the correct questions. It's all done behind the scenes. Some important things to remember: follow all instructions very carefully. Complete a track questionnaire for all ag tracks. Section C is essential as it determines if additional questions are required. Leave plenty of comments and put everything into Cat B. Thank you all for watching. Please contact your supervisors, NASDA coordinators, or regional field offices if you have any questions.